Rajat Rajkari of Motilal Oswal has joined in now. Rajat, good morning. Some of the advanced tax numbers are beginning to trickle in. How do you expect the earnings season to pan out this time around for Q4?
Hello. Hi. I think the initial numbers that we are seeing from most of the sectors for this quarter indicate that this quarter is going to be really a tough quarter on the numbers. Won't be surprised by the time we compile our numbers, the earnings growth for this quarter could just be about flat, could also report some marginal degrowth because a lot of the sectors have actually seeing new lows. If you look at autos, the numbers continue to look bad. Look at cement, this quarter, which is typically a good quarter, numbers are looking bad. The credit growth is really not picking up. The numbers are quite flat. I think on an average, you would be seeing numbers being very, very disappointing this quarter.
Rajat, morning. In that context, what do you expect the market to do? I mean, do you expect some more adjustment to these earnings disappointments, or do you think right now valuations and expectations are fairly matched?
Well, I think after the December quarter numbers, the markets got adjusted to some disappointment into the numbers, and that's why we saw some correction happening there. But in general, people have actually delayed or postponed their expectations of the earnings recovery now. What we were expecting to happen in the first half of FY14 now seems to getting delayed to second half of FY14. So the markets will just remain stuck into a range, and in turn with that the valuations will keep on correcting, a process that we have been now seeing for the last 2-3 years.
The one space that's been seeing a steady run of good news is the oil and gas space, Rajat. There's talk again of another fuel price hike come the weekend. How are you approaching that pocket, and what looks like an interesting buy from that space?
Well, we just released a fairly detailed report on the PSU oil companies, and I think it's very interesting to see that after almost 3 to 4 years of no earnings growth or a very low earnings growth, stocks like ONGC and Oil India will suddenly see an adjustment in their earnings. I call it an adjustment rather than a growth, because they were earning much below than what they should have been earning. So it's an adjustment that we will see in their earnings from a 29-30 rupees EPS of ONGC. The number over the next 2 years could anything between 40 to 50 rupees, depending upon how far we see this fuel price adjustment to happen. But I think the trend is very clear that the earnings are going to move up. How much they move up will be a function of how many monthly diesel price increases we see, and secondly the expectation of the gas price increase that has started to get built into the estimates. But I think it would be fair to assume that over the next 2 years and ONGC earnings can see a readjustment of almost closer to 35 to 50% from what they reported in FY13, and that is why as a pack ONGC and Oil India looks like two of the best investment ideas in the market at this point of time.
We were just talking about the IPO which closes today, Rajat. Repco, you guys have taken a call on it. So far subscription has been thin, but you would recommend people to buy?
Yes, we have been always very, very positive on the mortgage financing industry, because we think this is one industry which is probably one of the best financing opportunities in this country. Look from any size from an HDFC to an LIC to a Diwan and many other NBFCs who have entered into this zone. The underlying business assumption that India is an under-penetrated market, if you are able to take care of your cost of funds and NPLs, I think companies can sustainably earn an ROE of between 18 to 20%. Even Repco has been earning those similar ROEs. They have their own niche segment that they have been operating in, and post this capital infusion, their leverage will suddenly drop from 8 times to closer to 4.5 times, which allows them to grow their book comfortably over the next 3-4 years. The underlying business opportunity is so huge in this segment that even a smaller player can continue to grow for many years before getting worried about the growth rate.
Any thoughts on NALCO, on which the government is trying to do an offer for sale?
But I think all the NALCO, given the pricing at which it is happening, will again see some subscription. But we think that within the metal pack, the stocks that we remain still positive, because everything has fallen into the metal pack. Hindalco still for us remains the best bet within the options available today.
You were talking about the autos, Rajat. What remains your top pick from that space? As you pointed out, sales have been quite paltry for the whole lot.
Well, first of all, I think it's a consensus now that two-wheeler is something which is going to see a lot more pain before you start getting positive. In fact, recently when we just released a note on HMSI numbers, we were surprised that their FY12 margins stood at almost 15%. You know, when from a 2.5 player industry, this is becoming a 3.5 player industry. And when the new player is entering the industry with such strong financials, you should assume that the industry will see more trouble before it starts seeing any worthwhile rewards to offer to investors. Within the four-wheeler pack, somewhere Tata Motors is completely a global play. Despite domestic numbers being bad, it is hardly making any impact onto the stock. I think Maruti, from a stock point of view, which is now again fairly well consolidating at these levels of 1350, 1400, will again become interesting, but you may not be in a hurry to buy this stock right now because the numbers just may take some more time before they recover. But yes, you are not seeing any further deterioration in Maruti, either in terms of volumes or in terms of margins. So from a stability point of view, they have come to a stable band. But I think the upsides could just be some time away before we look at these names again.
Any thoughts on Titan, Rajat? I mean, the management was at pains to point out that they would deal with all the regulatory changes and volume growth would not be impacted, but the stock was down yesterday as well, as it has suffered through this week.
Well, this is right now the most favorite play for or favorite industry across the regulatory framework to address the current account deficit. If you look at the kind of norm changes that we have been seeing over the last 3-4 months on the gold import front, they have been too many in a short period of time, and we are still not through with that. This recent norms about the KYC norms itself, while the industry will take its own time and may comply with it, I think the initial adjustment period is what investors are worried about. And given the kind of noises that we are continue to hear on the alarming current account deficit problem, till the time you do not see the news front stepping away from the gold import front, I think the stocks will continue to remain soft. In between this, I think you'll get a very good entry opportunity into a stock like Titan. While it has corrected almost 25-30%, right? I think maybe another 5-10% closer to 200 levels. This will be a fantastic opportunity for investors to get into the name.
Mr. Tulsian, what would you do with Titan? Would you buy it at 230?
Udayan, I think below 220 it makes a good buy, because I don't think that in fact now the technical positions, earlier we have seen some delivery based buying by the large investor happening in the stock. I don't know whether that has really happened, that has really stopped, but lately for the last couple of days, in fact we have been seeing the shorts getting built up, because the technical calls have been that the stock is in a bear phase and it is not likely to rebound. So any kind of short covering can make the stocks to move back to about 240, 245. So definitely it qualifies a buy at 220 or so.
Let's take a break, come back. Still about 15 minutes to go. We'll get some more experts in after the break.
Welcome back. Things are quiet across Asia. The SGX Nifty is inching back into the green, but it's still very, very quiet, the trends from that part of the market. Rajat Rajkaria has been speaking with us. In a bit, some more market experts will join in. Rajat, do you guys cover this combine of financial technologies and MCX? Because that's been the other space that's under quite a bit of pressure, especially MCX.
Yes, I think there are two reasons which is leading to this big pressure. First, the kind of optimism that maybe some section of investors were building after the MCX SX launch, taking time. It will take time for it to get built up. So that is one. And second, I think a lot of the stock in MCX is now coming up after the locking period gets over, and that could be a fairly large supply. in this kind of a market, we are seeing wherever there is a supply of paper, how stocks have been reacting. And thirdly, I think the introduction of the commodity transaction tax into the budget has not gone down too well with the investors. So suddenly you have both fundamental and technical news coming together, but somewhere the correction in the stock has been very, very severe. We think that at these prices, MCX at about 900 and FT also at the levels at which it is trading at, again looks very attractive, but we will have to see through this temporary pain till the time the entire supply is absorbed into the stock.
Thanks, Rajat, for those ideas. T.S. Hariyar and Anil Magnani have also joined in now. Good morning to both of you.